Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bayern Now, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. We won. We won, but I'm not exactly pleased with the way we played. The first half was lethargic, dry. We scored. It was great, but the first goal, Onana should never not save that. Any goalkeeper with common sense knows I should probably not fumble this. I should just not concede this goal. I don't know. We got lucky with the first goal. Second goal, great quality for Musiala to take on the entire midfield and the entire defense. Gnabry, good finish, simple finish. Third goal, penalty. United scored and it was 2-1, and then we scored after with a handball, which it's a handball. No United fan should be talking about VAR because I have a feeling we were always going to win this game due to the fact that Mathys Tel scores, you guys score, we score. It was just we were always going to win this game, and it was just a game for the neutrals. It was written in the script. Bayern are going to concede 3 goals today, but score 4 and win. We were always going to win because no matter what you did, we were going to push for a win anyways, and we won, right? We won, and it's not like the last goal we scored, our final goal, made the game, you know, 4-3. No, we scored and it was 4-2, and you scored in the last minute, making it 4-3. We were just never going to concede from that point on. But so, the handball, whatever. Kane scores the penalty. Okay, cool. You're thinking everything's going to relax now. It's going to calm down. We're winning 3-1. Well, then Casemiro goes and scores one of the craziest goals to make it 3-2. And I'm just sitting here like, damn, you just got to give it to him, because that was a well-worked goal. Martial came on, made a difference for United. Probably one of their best attackers after he came on. He cooked Goretzka, and your team just looked a little bit more lively. Mathys Tel scores, makes it 4-2. Bayern leading by 2 again. And then Casemiro at the end there with a great corner from Bruno Fernandes, a really good corner. The positives in this game, once again, Mathys Tel proves why he should have started the game. Now, I think Tuchel's logic as to why he's not just going to start him off the bat is because he's making such a great impact off the bench, and it's the best way to use him. But at this point, I'm just like, just start him because he's scoring every time. He's getting this kid almost created an assist, and then in the exact same sequence, just 10 seconds later, scores a beautiful goal, great touch, great finish, everything, great move. Because most players would have been offside in that sequence, but he found himself in a very intelligent spot, made a very intelligent run, and finished it very well. Most players just fumble that, but Mathys Tel once again proves why we spent the money we spent on him. This kid had 49 minutes of professional football at Rennes when we got him, and we gave him minutes last season, scored 7 goals in total in like 300 minutes. I don't remember the exact minute, but off the bench. And again, his impact is growing in this team. Because I don't think Gnabry does what Tel played for about 10 minutes, right? And achieved more than Gnabry did in the entire game. And Gnabry scored and played the entire. So the point is, Tel had a crazier impact off the bench than some of our starters. He played better than Kane. Look, Harry Kane, love him. The team's not gelling. This is the thing. The team isn't gelling. Musiala, that's another big positive today. Yo, Jamal, I need you to do this exact same thing. Who do we play next? Against Buchum, bro. You need to play this exact same way. Because, dog, this guy turned into. He was cooking the whole game. I think he succeeded with every dribble he attempted. Musiala was just. If I was a United fan, every time he touched the ball, I would have been pissed, like scared. Because he could create something, and this is what we know Musiala is capable of. And hopefully the injuries behind him, it wasn't really an injury. He was out for a week. But hopefully he forgets the World Cup. Because I think after that World Cup where he took the world by storm, didn't score, but was literally one of the tournament's best players in just the group stages. Imagine if he had a round of 16 and a quarterfinal and a semifinal. Musiala could have shown the world what he was on, what he was about, but it just didn't work for him. But now let's take all of that energy and pour it into this season. And I want to see the same performance every week. I want to see the goals added. And then, yeah, Musiala was just unplayable today, man. I was loving every minute of that performance. I don't know why he came off so early. He could have just done a little bit more. But I think Tuchel is just managing him. Speaking of Tuchel, is he allowed to call the coaching staff and be like, yo, he's in the stadium. He was in the stadium for sure. But I don't know what his ban really does. I don't really get sending a manager off. I don't. I mean, I get it in the moment in the game, like, just get out of my face, stop talking to me if you're the referee. But why ban him in the next game? What sense does that make? It's a different referee. It's a completely different season in the Champions League. Things like that should just kind of poof out of existence, you would think. But a splendid performance from Musiala nonetheless. And Tuchel needs to start getting questions on his head. We still don't have an identifiable style of play. The only reason we controlled the game is because United are dookie. They suck. Eriksen and Casemiro. Casemiro, I doubted you, man. Not doubted you, but I mean, in the game, Musiala was cooking you. And this guy went on and scored 2 goals and almost ruined it for us. So fair play. Casemiro is proving his quality is still there, but his team is just dookie. They suck completely. So, yeah, Casemiro was a huge threat for us in this game. And Musiala came off and he finally channeled his powers and decided to perform. The group is very interesting now because Galatasaray and Copenhagen are on 1 point because they drew their game earlier today. Bayern are winning the group with 3 points. United are down 0 points and negative goal differential. I love this. I just love how that sounds. But when we go to Old Trafford, we actually have to perform better than this. I said it. Tuchel isn't going to be here come February 2024. I don't see it. I don't see Thomas Tuchel lasting that long. Now, I know we can say, oh, he didn't get his player. But this team is better than most teams in the world. We should be beating teams like Leipzig. We should. Leipzig do not have a player in their team that plays for us. I mean, Willi Orban is the best defender in the Bundesliga, but at the moment he's injured. So let's just use that. Apart from Willi Orban, who, by the way, everyone's like, what do you mean, Kim? Kim and Willi Orban would be an unplayable partnership. I've never seen Orban make a mistake, and I've watched a billion Leipzig games. I love Willi Orban, one of my favorite players. I went from hating the guy to loving him. That's crazy. So, but yeah, I mean, Xavi Simons, but Musiala does that. So who really exactly? So why would we be scared of a Leipzig game? Because they're playing better than us. Their team is well drilled. Marco Rose is one of the best in-game coaches. This guy can switch a game like this with one change. He understands football. His tactical brain is crazy good. He gave us problems when he was at Gladbach and we had Hansi Flick. I'm just looking at this and I'm like, it's been almost 6 months since Tuchel got in here. And I still don't see that style of play. I don't see a difference. Do you guys see a difference between how we played under Nagelsmann versus how we play now? Do you see like different patterns? No, I feel like Tuchel's clearly a coach that he's a great manager, right? I think he's able to manage characters in a dressing room pretty well. He did it at PSG. There was no breaking news. Mbappe punched Neymar. There was none of that, right? I think they were more united. Mbappe and Neymar, they were feeling good under Tuchel. They liked each other then. So clearly, Tuchel has great managerial capability, but his tactical brain and coaching ability is lacking. I don't see Tuchel ever making changes that changes the game for us completely. United came out in the second half and scored very quickly because they looked like they had a plan. They came out with a plan, with a new plan. And I don't think Tuchel addressed. I think he must have been on a call with the team. I mean, I'm sure he was, he had to have been on call. Or he must have instructed his coaching staff to do. besides that, this happens every game. So it doesn't matter that in this game, Tuchel wasn't there physically or was only there on the phone. The point is, this happens in every game we play now, where it just looks like we're always behind. We're playing a game of chess, and it looks like our opponent already castled, and now their next moves are very simple. It's to attack our pieces, maybe a pawn push, and their ideas are very simple. And while we're just trying to castle, but every time we think we can castle, they make a move that attacks a piece that we need to move, and they keep making more progressing moves, and we're basically never going to castle. And they're pushing their pawns, and we have to worry about that pawn push, or they move their knight. The knight's now attacking our bishop, and the pawn can support the knight. And if the knight gets to the square, it's going to attack the queen and fork the rook and queen. And it's like we have to constantly think of solving that problem. And I think that's what we're going through. We are unable to solve problems at the same rate as the opponent. So they'll make a move, and we're still catching up to the move they made before. So something has to change. And I don't want Tuchel sacked. I just want to know what our style of play is. I want us to stop complaining about we didn't get a DM. Duh, everyone knows that. But what do we have? We have world-class players. Kimmich, what a pass to Tel. Kimmich has that quality. But here's the annoying thing. Kimmich could be doing that every game, every second, but he's stuck having to babysit Goretzka. Goretzka in that second half started improving a little bit more. But damn, when Martial cooked them, everything went out the window. Every good touch he had made before that went out the window because he got cooked by Martial, which led to the goal they scored. But Goretzka, Upamecano went to this man's face and asked him basically, why are you a crackhead? Straight up, why are you a crackhead? And by the way, let me just remind everyone that we should never be conceding 3 goals to Man United. I can't blame the defense, though. I think the team structure isn't working defensively and offensively. When we have the ball, we don't play pleasant, right? I mean, we did it in the second half more. And it's funny because the moment in the first half we decided to finally keep the ball and stop playing just random passes, we actually got to create a chance. It's also interesting that Tuchel will complain about the same thing. Watch, Tuchel's opinion on the game will be, we just lost the ball for no reason. There is a reason, though. The reason is you're not drilling a system and you're not requiring these players to play it, because if they weren't doing what you were telling them to do in training, you would drop them. But I see the same players starting over and over again. You have to drill them. And also, you can't say this team is incapable of keeping the ball for prolonged periods of time. We had Hansi Flick, and we played the most risky, line-breaking, vertical football ever, yet we still kept the ball more than this. Also, our pressing. We let United have the ball too much. United isn't a quality team. Coming into our stadium, they got to be under pressure, not us. They have to, and they don't have a great back line for playing the ball out of the back. Lindelof, I mean, his passing, long range, great. But under pressure, like he turns into a Bozo. Casemiro, great footballer, great anchor, but not a great on-the-ball player under pressure with 3 players around him. Our pressing has to be different. And it's solved very simply. We take the risk by having a higher line, knowing that Kim and Upa have the recovery pace with Davies and Limer. By the way, Limer today was dog crap. I don't know how he lasted the whole game, especially when we have a better player in Nusar Mazraoui. I don't want to see Limer play again at right back. Actually, just again. I think, can anyone name me one thing Limer's better at than Mazraoui? Why isn't Mazraoui playing? It's funny. Tuchel has his favorites because Limer played bad today, but it's not a big deal. If Mazraoui had the same performance, he's getting dropped forever. I'm pissed. I'm annoyed. Also, with Mazraoui, he can invert into the midfield, and we can have a little bit more variety to the game. He's also better in possession, makes smarter decisions, calm under pressure. Why didn't he start? Oh, some stupid reason, man. Some stupid reason. Ulreich. I don't want to see Ulreich start again. This might be bizarre, but we conceded 3 goals, and I don't think any of them were his fault. I really don't believe Ulreich could have made a save. Rasmus Højlund's goal, I mean, it took a deflection. If he just gets down and has faster reactions, maybe he saves that. But none of the goals were Ulreich's fault. Yet he still sucked because this guy's passing on the ball is just terrible. Simple, just chip the ball to the right back. He can't do it. He can't. Every time he does a long pass, I just know we're losing the ball. Daniel Peretz has clearly shown he can do it. And this guy played at a decent level in Israel, played some Champions League games, some Europa League games, and did well. Why don't we just start him and see how that works? Why are we obsessed with Ulreich? This guy is 35, almost 36. He doesn't have a future here. Just go with Peretz, man. Ulreich doesn't give the team confidence. It is so irritating that our back line, collectively speaking, defensively, apart from the fact that Leimer lost the most duels on the pitch, our back line, objectively speaking, did okay. They did well. They defended well. Upamecano did well. Kim, amazing performance. But why did we concede 3 goals? Structure, and also the fact that Ulreich's in goal. So maybe the team's just more anxious knowing this bum's in goal. Yeah, maybe that's why. The team's just anxious because they're just thinking, might concede, Ulreich's in goal. I think that's a big reason, to be honest. I don't know for a fact, though. Maybe we're just not that great. So that's one thing there. Let's talk about positives. At least in the second half, we did have more control. And it's funny because the only moment we were in danger was when we decided to lose control. When we had United pinned back, it felt like we could score. Sane hit the post. It just felt like more things could happen at any moment when we had them pinned back and we were recycling possession smartly. You don't just want to pass back. No. You want to pass, open lines up, and if the pass isn't there, you don't make it. Kane lost the ball too many times today, trying his magnificent. Bro, sometimes you don't need that special pass. Just look. If it's not on, it's not on. You can tell. Sometimes you take the risk. You only take the risk if it's absolutely necessary to take the risk. But we were losing the ball too much. But if we had kept the ball in that second half the way we should have, and it's not to say we're going to have 99% possession and United are going to have 1% possession. And the only 1% they're going to have is when they're clearing the ball away. No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is they can have the ball, but as long as it's we're keeping them where they're supposed to be. When Mayweather's fighting, his opponent is exactly where he wants them to be. Even if they're throwing punches, he knows, okay, move here, boom, boom. They're doing exactly what he wants them to do. That's when we give United the ball, it's only when we're kind of just trying to relax and see what they're about a little bit. Just relax. But we can also give them the ball to press them deep and win it in more dangerous areas. Maybe having the ball isn't working well. And we can just take this thing out of the game. You know how demotivating it is to play football and you don't have the ball? You're just running around. These are professional players. They train. They're very conditioned. They can run all day. But it's demoralizing at the same time to just keep running and not getting anything. But when you start giving them the ball, you make a mistake and you try to, make a crazy pass happen and it doesn't work and you lose the ball, it starts giving them motivation. And now they score 3 goals. That's where we have to learn to control things. Calm it down. Calm down. Peretz is not starting. No, I don't think it's too soon. This guy Ulreich, if anything, has had less game time than Peretz. Peretz has been consistently playing games for his club. Now, I get your point, but my overall point is that no one can be worse than Ulreich at this rate. Not just that Ulreich made a mistake and led to a goal. No, it's just that on the ball, he gives us nothing, and off of it, he gives us nothing. So what does he do exactly? He doesn't give the team calmness. He's not tall. If Ulreich played like Janis Blažević, I would love him. Janis Blažević is not like some extraordinary shot stopper, but he makes good saves. But he also, on the ball, gives his team something else than Gulacsi. He's making passes in between the channels. Gulacsi's back. He's the Leipzig's number one is fully back. He's fit. But Blažević keeps playing because he keeps making good decisions. He keeps playing well. Emiliano Martinez, when he came on with Arsenal and played a few games, he kept playing well. I don't know if Ulreich has ever given us a game where we were like, wow, you were spectacular. Your backup goalkeeper doesn't have to be world class, but they have to have some class, something about them. I just don't. Ulreich doesn't give me confidence, and he doesn't give the team confidence. And I think on the ball, it's worse because it's like, at least if he had the passing, I would forgive him for not stopping shots because we don't really pay him for that. We pay him to just be a backup. But he doesn't have passing. Leroy Sané named man of the match. Pretty deserved, I thought. No, maybe give it to Musiala. But Sané was he was so dangerous, man. Sané today, you know what? It wasn't a perfect performance, but what it was just danger. Oh, bruh, I bet you United players are just, every time he lost the ball because he's so inventive at every moment, right? He's a super inventive player, but I think Musiala should have just gotten man of the match. Mathys Tel has scored each of his last 7 competitive games for Bayern in the final 15 minutes, with 3 of them coming in injury time. This guy. Tel is going to be a monster in the future. He has the mentality for it as well. Thomas Tuchel better start giving Tel some starts because the questions are going to start piling on because this kid's coming on and doing things. Yeah. Come on, man. I love what Tel did. The movement, too. He was just there, man. Present. See, Tel has that presence about him, man. He's playing because he's active. He's doing things. And then he has the quality to make something big happen. Right now, he's getting a lot of good passes through. But more importantly, he's scoring and getting really good. His teammates are now trusted. Kimmich would not make that pass unless he knew Tel could. I think Kimmich doesn't make that pass to Gnabry. He'll think about it too. He'll be like, yo, is he really going to get a good touch here? But Tel, he's like, yeah, he's going to do it. Yeah, just low key. It's low key. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Do you guys want to see these match ratings? I don't know where this is from, but this is our attack. Kane, 8.9, goal and assist. This is why goals and assists. I look at the overall performance. Kane today, he was making too many risky passes, losing the ball a little bit too much. We just need you to keep it simple, and unless it's on, it's on. Sané scored 8.5, but overall his game was great. Musiala, great game. He just didn't play longer than 75 minutes. Gnabry was taken off at the 63rd minute. Coman came in. Kingsley Coman, by the way, just didn't play that well when he came on. 7.6 for Gnabry. Kimmich, 7.4. First half, Kimmich made some mistakes and was getting tackled and dispossessed. But second half, he fixed it and got an assist. Goretzka, Kim, I don't know how Kim's on this low of a rating with Upamecano. I thought they were pretty decent. But I guess when you concede 2 goals, they just blame the defense. Davies, not his best game. Leimer, our worst player, and Ulreich. Yeah, whatever. Only De Zerbi can make this team a super team. Now, you guys are... We don't know how De Zerbi would coach an elite side, and we don't need any more tests. I don't want projects. I like De Zerbi. I like what he does at Brighton, and I wouldn't necessarily hate it, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're sacking him after a year because we need time. We need a manager that's... I wouldn't mind Xabi Alonso. I guess him and De Zerbi are basically in the exact same category when it comes because they're both But no De Zerbi's yet. I wouldn't mind taking Hansi Flick if we were sacking Tuchel, but I want it to work with Tuchel. See, I will never sit here and be like, I love Thomas Tuchel. I don't. I never rated him. I never did. I just thought he's all right. I never looked at the guy and went, oh my gosh, magnificent. No, I never thought that. And I never will. He can win a Champions League. I still won't enjoy his playing style. I think it's just too, it's not perfect for me. Right. And it's not because I'm still hung with Hansi Flick. I wanted Nagelsmann to work out too, and I'm not hung over him as well. I'm just being fair and as unbiased as I can be. If Tuchel succeeds at Bayern, I won't change my opinion on him as a coach that I have. But if he starts playing different kinds of football and has this team drilled where we start playing consistently and getting great results, then of course I'll change my opinion on him as a coach even, because I'm seeing that picture now. I'm seeing exactly what he's doing. So, Hansi Flick, you know what I'm saying? Pack your bags. You might be coming back. Yeah, there's a chance he could, pop in here and coach us for a little bit. There's always a chance, man. There's always a chance. Never know. Hansi could come in and manage us. Who knows? We stay on Tuchel or we go to Flick. Two choices. Flick isn't coming, bro. This is a pipe dream for me. The board isn't going to swallow their pride. I guess the guys Flick broke down with are gone. Brazo's gone. Marco Nepp's on his way out. He's barely getting a role at the club anymore, so he's going to be sacked eventually. But you guys can see why I said this game could be a draw, right? Andre Onana requested to speak after the game. He says, it's my responsibility because of me, we didn't win. See, you can look at the game like that. You can look at the game and say, it's because of that. Yeah, if he doesn't make that mistake, the game is different. Jeez. Jamal Musiala versus Manchester United. There's already a comp, man. This comp is going to feed my kids, even though I don't have any. Can we talk about Zidane? No. Zinedine Zidane is basically what Tuchel is. He's Tuchel just with more pedigree and success overall. Zidane is they're just adaptive coaches where they go game by game with no set style. I don't want Zidane. I like him as a player, one of the greatest players of all time. And I'd like to believe what happened in Madrid could work at Bayern. But ladies and gentlemen, it won't work at Bayern because we don't have the level of quality Madrid did. Zidane had Sergio Ramos in his prime, Toni Kroos in his prime, Luka Modric in his prime, Casemiro in his prime. He had who played next to Ramos? That one guy that was aggressive. I forgot his name. Portuguese dude. Just super, biting people kind of. No, that's Suarez. Cannibalist Suarez. So Benzema, who was coming into his prime, but still Benzema. Gareth Bale. And those players were never injured. They never had major injuries. So Zidane's adaptive style, where he just adapted, worked. And the only bad thing is they weren't consistent in the league, because you need a dominant style of play to win the league every year, like Man City. And you need an adaptive style to win the Champions League. So Zidane was adaptive in the Champions League, but didn't really do that well in the league because of the fact that he just didn't have that consistent, dominant style. So that's the problem with Zinedine Zidane. I would love Zidane if we had the level of quality Madrid did when he was successful. Zidane is similar to Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo needs quality for a system to work because much of it is dependent on telling his players to kind of express themselves. He gives them a simple set of instructions, simple tactics, and coaches them to play intricate football. But when it comes down to it, his style is just, my name is Carlo Ancelotti. Do what you need to do to win the game. That's it. That's really the style of play. I love Carlo. He's my favorite manager of all time. But I don't think he would work at Bayern right now. He needs quality to truly flourish as a coach. Same thing with Zidane. So, yeah, I don't know how we want to do this, man. I'm sure the club and Tuchel will figure it out. I hope Tuchel stays because I don't want the turmoil of having another manager go. That would. Why are we doing this every single day, right? So, yeah, it's just that. Union played well against Madrid, while they lost. Bring anyone except the manager with Prem mentality, especially someone with Chelsea mentality. I think Bayern board also a problem. They're blind. Yeah, the board made a huge mistake because Tuchel's always going to have the excuse if we don't perform to our ability that I needed a crucial player. You knew it was a crucial player. And yeah, you didn't sign him. You waited 48 hours before the window was going to close to get serious about signing a DM. And then he was in Munich wearing a Bayern shirt and the move broke down because, well, you waited too long and the club he was coming from couldn't find a replacement. That's on the board. That's on them. That's their responsibility. And if they want Tuchel to shut up about that, they're going to have to really dig deep and get us someone big in January. Yo, we might need to go on a nice little tour of South America and see what's out there. If we get Federico Redondo, basically the next Sergio Busquets, I don't mind. If we go and find some kid in Spain, I don't mind. If we go, as long as they have a lot of experience and they come in and they're instantly good. I don't want 5 years from now. Unless it's Mathys Tel, some kid with Mathys Tel's mentality. But I want a solution now. Someone that helps us in March, in April, because we will, believe it or not, make it out of this group. We have no choice. We have to make it out of it. If Tuchel doesn't make it out of this group, he's getting sacked. That's for sure. But I can imagine the board members aren't happy with his performance. Trust me. They're sitting there going, we might need to start thinking about a new manager. Because it's always going to be on the manager. You can't sack players in between the season. That's just not possible. You're always going to look at the one guy who has the responsibility over how the team plays, and that's the manager. Christian Fround isn't going to get sacked because he just got here, and he's our director of football. He's only really important in summer transfer windows. So the only thing you can look at right now is the manager. So we have to look deep, and I hope Tuchel can find a way to get this team to click. Maybe he is giving them the right instructions and coaching a really good system, but the players aren't hearing it. But that responsibility of getting the players to adapt to his style and to buy his system is on him. He has to get the players on board with his style. That's one of the most critical points of management. Carlo Ancelotti in his book talks about how important that is. He has to build a cohesive unit because the board can't coach the team. These guys are money people. Most of them just think about finances all day. But they hire a director of football to think about transfers for them, and they hire a manager to think about coaching for them. And his staff, he brought in much of his staff. Anthony Barry, he brought in to be our set piece coach, and we don't look that great defending set pieces. So everything is going to go back to Tuchel like, hey, you made us sign this guy. You made us do this. You don't make us play this way, and we want to play this way. It's always going to go back to Tuchel. So he has to be careful, Thomas Tuchel, because he could get sacked. And Bayern, I think our first alternative will be Xabi Alonso. But I think Bayern want a peaceful way of getting Xabi. I don't think Xabi himself would want to join Bayern in the middle of a season. I don't think he wants to do that because he's going to look at what happened to Tuchel. He's going to be like, wait, Nagelsmann was doing well. Tuchel came in, and now he's getting sacked after a year. This isn't. So I don't want us to get in the habit of sacking coaches, but people like to pretend like we're this club with long-term coaches. We've been sacking coaches every 2 years for a long time, dude. We've been letting coaches go. I mean, come on. We are an opportunistic club when it comes to coaches leaving and coming back, and we alternate. We like to sack coaches. We like to shock the players a little bit. If we sign Mourinho, I will find you, Richard, and I will strangle you. Sign Mourinho? You hear all my complaining? I want this team attacking more, and you want us defending more? It's funny how Man United live streams are freaking out also, and while we won, we're freaking out also. It's because their standard was we could have at least drawn this game. If I'm a United fan, I'd be like, yeah, great, Ten Hag gets sacked. Like, I'd be celebrating this loss like it's a win, because you aren't going anywhere with Ten Hag. How do they improve here? Ten Hag's signings aren't doing well. The only one that looked decent was Højlund, who got a goal. I don't know if he did anything else in that game that made me go, wow, he's really doing something. So, nah, man. Nah, yo, we gotta ban Richard, man. How is he saying sign Mourinho? No, they won't sack him. No, they won't sack Tuchel, but I'm just giving my opinions on they won't get Tuchel will get sacked after the Leipzig game on September 30th. If we lose to Leipzig, yeah, it's going to be like the beginning of the end. I don't think it's the end for Tuchel. I think they're going to give him as much of an opportunity to fix things and get us playing well, and then they're going to think about it after that. But yeah, we have to win versus Bochum this week, and then next week we play Presen Munster in the Pokal. Tel he needs at least 5 goals in that game for me to be satisfied. And then 4 days after that, so next Saturday, we'll play Leipzig. That's going to be a huge game. And then we'll play Copenhagen. And then Freiburg. So Leipzig, if we lose to Leipzig, yeah, it's away, and I think we're going to lose. It's crazy that I'm predicting a loss, but yeah, nah. It's either a draw or a loss, because I don't see us winning. Marco Rose his team is just playing too well for me to think we're going to win. And that's annoying. That's unfortunate. Signing Mourinho is like suicide. Yeah, nah, you guys are crazy. All right, boys and girls, I think the Red Devil United, the guy I did a stream with, is doing a match reaction. So if you guys can go in there and bully him, I don't know, not Red Devil United. Red Devil Studio, sorry. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, he's doing a match reaction right now. Mistakes cost us. He's going to complain about mistakes. Go in there and bully him. Bully Mark Gobridge. Bully all these guys, because they deserve it. Thank you everyone so much for watching. God bless. And Mia San Mia and peace. Yo, United might bring him back on an interim basis. They might actually do it. I want Tuchel to be sacked somewhere next year at least. You guys don't like Tuchel, huh? Our new you guys are just talking like he's sacked already. He's saying our new coach should take a tutorial 2013 tactics. Why are we not playing the same? You don't have the same players. We had Bastian Schweinsteiger. We had Javi Martinez. We had Toni Kroos. We had Philipp Lahm. We had Jerome Boateng in his prime, Dante, who's kind of like our Upamecano now, So he had a little bit of a man who had a Balzo moment. We had David Alaba, who was coming up and excited to play for the team. We had Ian Robin and Ribéry in their primes. Ribéry almost won a Ballon d'Or. We had Neuer in his prime. We had Thomas Müller in his super prime, like coming into his prime and already there. We had Mario Mandzukic. We had a completely different. I mean, you can say Kane, Mandzukic, same level. Well, Kane's better than Mandzukic, but wingers, Ribéry's better than all our wingers by a lot. Just injuries, right? Robin's better than all our wingers by a lot. Just injuries. Javi Martinez is better than all our midfielders in terms of defending by a lot. Schweinsteiger is better than Kimmich is right now. Sorry, That might shock you, but I really think that. Kimmich is still world class, but Schweinsteiger is Schweinsteiger. Yeah. So you know what I mean? We had a better team. That's why. That's why they can't just study the 2013 tactics and hope to implement it with these dumb players, some of them. But thank you everyone so much for watching. Me, yes, and me, and peace. I already said that. This guy said this ain't no me, yes, and me. This performance, is it? Oh, man. We are who we are. We ain't who we are now.